So I'm back again. So you've seen the title, and before we get into this, I will say the mind and the body, they are connected. And I'll also say it is King D in case you didn't recognise me with my top on and my gun's not out. It's me. And before we do the little intro bit, I will say that exercise, guys, is the best form of antidepressant on the planet by a mile. It genuinely is. Your muscles produce hormones and chemicals that sort you out, that make you feel good. It's right there and it's free. And I know if anyone watching this, if you are depressed, I've been there myself. Getting motivated when you're depressed it's not easy. But you can do it. You can. So if you are depressed and you're not too clever right now, get out there, get moving your body, burn some energy, get them muscles moving, get a sweat on, and crack on. Anyway, let's get on with the video. King D, I'm back with another one, and this video is called Healthy Mind, Healthy Body. So let's start with self-esteem, shall we? Now, if you're a fat fuck, and I don't mean that to be offensive either, my intention is not to offend you. However, if that hit a nerve, then maybe you need to do something about it. And I'll tell you why, right? So, say if I'm morbidly obese, say, and I'm not comfortable going out topless, or if I'm not even comfortable wearing clothes, going outdoors, and having people look at me thinking, I know what they're thinking I'm a big fat fuck. What's that doing to me? I wouldn't want to go out, would I? I'd have to put on a brave face to go out every time I went out the house thinking, everyone's looking at me thinking I'm fat and therefore I must be lazy and I must be this, that and the other. And if you look good, on the flip side, if you look good, you're going to feel good. You don't mind walking down the street and people looking at you thinking, he looks well. Especially, like summertime, when I've got my guns out and the ladies are all having a look, and even the chaps like, oh, wish I had arms like that.
Twat.
Makes me feel good, doesn't it? Of course it does. So that's raising my self-esteem. So if I go out and I'm looking particularly well, that's building my self-esteem because I've got all these people either giving me that look, smiling, or whatever the case may be. But it'd be in reverse if I had big massive tits and a giant belly. People would be looking at me, Jesus, he likes his pizza, doesn't he? And I'd see it. I'd be like, oh, I won't want to be around people. And if I see people I know, my head's going to be down. I'm just not going to feel good about myself. And if you don't feel good about yourself, well, you are you. You're stuck with you. This is who you are always going to be. Now, it's almost like a prison. If you're not happy with yourself, then you become a prison, don't you? Because you're stuck in this body and this brain that you don't like. Now, we're going off topic here. This is for another conversation, but basically, love yourself. Forgive yourself if you are a big guy or a big lady. Seriously, love yourself. But crack on. Do the hard work. And you will feel better. You will. Crazy, I know. Crazy. Who'd have thought that, big fat guy losing loads and loads of weight and suddenly you can see his dick again. Who'd have thought that he'd start feeling good? Mental, eh? Now, another thing, we don't move enough on a whole. Most people have got office jobs or they just like sitting on the fat arse. We do not move enough. You look at animals in the wild, they're constantly on the move and they're all healthy and fit. You never see a obese animal in the wild, unless it's supposed to be. Like a pig's obviously fat because they're meant to be fat. But, things out in the wild, they're fit. Look at people. And, how many people you see in mobility scooters that aren't even old? And just, the amount of fat people is incredible nowadays. Most people are overweight. And then look at diabetes, look at all these health issues that people have. And most of it's due to eating. Same with inflammation. Like I said about the fasting, right? If you haven't watched that video, when I talked about fasting, I was talking about my joints are buggered, right? So my knees struggle with from years of block paving. So I'm on my knees, laying blocks. They were knackered. And then my left arm was knackered as well. I couldn't straighten it, and it would wake me up 3-4 times a night. As soon as I start fasting, about 4 weeks later, no more pain. None. What did I do different? Oh, I wasn't eating so much shit, was I? So what does that tell you? So society today, people don't move about enough, but they also eat too much. I don't think we are designed to eat 3 meals a day every day. I genuinely don't. And you are what you eat. So if you're eating shit, that's why you feel like shit. I've noticed myself when I'm good with my diet and I'm eating good stuff, I feel good. I do. When I'm eating a lot of shit, I won't feel so good. Crazy, eh? Who knew? Who knew? Well, that's just how things work. Now, it's tricky nowadays because everything's been pumped in full of shit and everything's processed and all that. But, you know the score. Sugar especially is the devil. It is terrible for you. Now, I know because I have a sweet tooth. I love my sugar shit. But if I binge ate some sugar, I can feel it the next day and I feel lousy as shit. And I've tried all sorts, why not? I'm curious by nature, so I heard a lot of good things about carnivore diet where you only eat meat, and this was an interesting one because you think carbs is where you get your energy from, but doing just meat, I never had so much energy in my life, genuinely. I did think about it for a while and I thought I could stick this out. But I love my carbs too much, I thought with the fasting, I'd already felt like I got my life back where I'm feeling bang on, feeling really good. And that was enough. But the carnivore diet, Jesus, honestly, I was coming home from work and I'm just like, right, what next? And I'm just bouncing around, really high energy, and felt great. And I sometimes think, I could do that again, but I know I'll miss my carbs and at some point I'm going to be eating them again. And I don't want my stomach keep guessing and things like that. Because I will say as well, about 4 days into doing carnivore, explosive diarrhea. Bear that one in mind, chaps. And ladies, that was not pleasant. Clearly my body's like, what the hell's going on here? Where's my carbs? I'm going to make you shit. And I did shit. And getting back to the whole healthy body, healthy mind, or healthy mind, healthy body. When I did the fasting, I've mentioned this before a couple of times, is how clear my mind was and how I was able to really focus better. I was sharper, I was more switched on, and the depression just disappeared. And no bullshit, I was doing a lot of things to help with my depression when I was really hit rock bottom. But I genuinely think the fasting was the biggest one. I really do. I think that was the biggest thing that really kicked my body into gear. And my body started feeling so much better. I wasn't in pain all the time. My joints worked. So that made me feel better anyway. But just all around I felt good. I felt very good. and I genuinely put it down to the fasting first before anything else. So yeah, I want you to think about this. The mind and the body, they are connected. Believe it or not, they are connected. And look after your body and your mind, and they'll look after you. It's true. And if you're a bloke, get some big muscles on you as well, because the ladies like the muscles, and you'll look good. Other blokes are going to be intimidated by you, thinking, oh, I'm not going to mess with that dude. And your body will be able to do things. Like, I can't think of anything worse. Say if I'm a big fat guy, right? Because I mean, sometimes with my kids, right, they've got some energy. So if I'm out for the day with the kids, and they're all playing around, all three of them, right, and they want me to play with them, and I'll do my best because I want to do my best for the kids. But it ain't long before I've had enough. I am knackered, and they're still running around, burning off way more energy than I ever could. But say if I was about 8 stone heavier, right, and I can't run, I can't even jog, and I can't play with my kids. What's that going to say to my head? It's going to make me feel like shit, innit? Because my brain's going to be telling me, you fat fuck, you eat that much, you're such a greedy fucking bastard and a lazy twat that you've gotten this fat to the point where you can't even play with your kids. Now, I dare say that a lot of fat people that are watching this, you've probably thought of that, and I feel for you. That is bad. You know what I mean? There's no way to live or think about yourself that way. But that's how you do feel about yourself, probably. I mean, I imagine that's how I'd feel about me if I was in that situation. Maybe you don't, and I hope you don't beat yourself up that much if you are a big person. But at the end of the day, you got to do things that's going to make you feel good. And looking after your body and your mind is going to make you feel good. And you want to look good. Of course you want to look good. I mean, looks are important, regardless of whether you're a man or a woman. You want to look good. You want to be presentable to the world, where you're happy with who you are. You're not ashamed, because being ashamed, you know what I mean? It's not a way to live your life. So if you're fat or you're pumping any kind of shit into your body that doesn't belong in your body, then time to make a change. Whether it's alcohol. Alcohol is a depressant, by the way. So if you're drinking all the time, you're making yourself ill. It's poison. It's basically what you're doing. You're poisoning yourself. If you're drinking every day, you're poisoning yourself every day. Same with anything that's shit. Sugar, it's poisoning yourself as well. That shit's no good for you. Don't get me wrong, I still eat a bit of sugar. Cut right down, but I still eat a bit. Hey, we've all got our vices. As long as you can control it and it doesn't control you, you're alright, as far as I'm concerned. You only here once. But again, I don't eat shit to the point where I'm going to get fat. And I don't have bitch tits jiggling about thinking, oh, sod it, I'll have another cake. No, as soon as I start getting fat, I think, right, time to lay off that shit and do some hard work. So you do the hard work as well. Look after your body. Bear in mind what I've said. I want you all to be thriving, feeling good, feeling proud of yourself, and all that. So like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends, and be the best you. And do it for you. Cheers.